What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Playground Podcast. This is your host, Henry Rodriguez, and this is Season 2, Episode 5, and we're here with DJ Sailor. So, man, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and kind of what you're doing right now.
Sweet, man. Yeah, so my name is DJ Sailor. Going way back, I guess. I'm originally from Palm Springs, California, born and raised. After that, I moved to Los Angeles. Kind of moved there more so for kind of money, looking for work, trying to get money and stuff, and I kind of realized it wasn't something I was really into. I was looking for more like happiness, you know? So I moved away from Los Angeles.
At what age?
I was at, like 19, 18,
Oh, okay,
19.
so this was, okay.
Yeah, so I graduated high school at like 17 and a half.
Gotcha.
I moved to Los Angeles, moved with my mom and my stepdad. They had their own company. I did carpet cleaning.
Gotcha.
You know, I was making good money. You know, there's, I was making good money doing that, but there's kind of dead end, you know.
Right.
So I kind of got fed up with that. I was over it. I moved back home, got a minimum wage job, just doing whatever at a golf course. And then about a little over a year and a half ago, I moved here to Casa Grande. Okay. And the rest is history. I'm just so glad to be here. It's so much better in California.
Right. So you graduated high school then in California, and then you...
Yeah, like next day, I was in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, I had everything planned out. Like, I had all my stuff planned out. Like, I had my car, like, filled up, and then right after graduation, after I walked, I was like, I'm going to Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you moved there with your mom then?
Yeah, my mom, my sisters, and my stepdad. And I worked carpet cleaning doing that, and saw all of Los Angeles,
So what's that like? I love going to Los Angeles, man. I love it. So did you, other than the traffic, to be honest with you, but did you enjoy being there, like the city life, or how was that for you, your experience?
It's kind of it's a yes and no question, because I like Los Angeles because, one, the food is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The food is amazing. You guys you ever been to Los Angeles, the food is amazing, like no matter what.
What's your favorite spot there? Not to get too far off this.
So I
actually like taco.
Sorry. Taco trucks, absolutely A1. But I'm actually Indonesian. So I love Indonesian food. Like, I absolutely love it. So there's a bunch of Indonesian spots everywhere, especially where I used to live.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite thing, getting Indonesian food.
I'll have to try. I don't think we've ever tried that.
It's very similar to like Filipino food. Very similar, but
I can't really even say if I've had that. Like, I know we go to what's that Indian spot in Chandler?
Ruchi's vegetarian.
That one's pretty good.
Okay.
That's Indian food, but like the closest we've gone to like.
It's probably like Thai.
Thai. Yeah, it's.
I've had Filipino food. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to maybe recommend some spots after this, and we can talk about it.
You're gonna have to go to California for it.
Right.
That's the problem. That's what I meant. Like Los Angeles, it's like you got to go to Los Angeles for the food.
And honestly, the culture in Los Angeles, just like with everything, like it has fashion, the clothes, like just everything seems to be there.
Right. Yeah. So you're so close to everything.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, I guess it depends on your lifestyle. Right. Somebody like you're into that kind of stuff. That's cool. For me, I'm very outdoorsy. I don't like noise. I like being isolated. I'm more of an outdoorsy person.
Right.
And there's nothing outdoorsy about Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
So
that's so true.
And moving here to Casa Grande, it's like, it's so much better.
It's a relief too.
It's so
probably.
much better.
And that's the thing. Like when I was living in San Diego, it was just like the same thing, man. Just like getting to work in the morning was, because I was in the Marines, so like getting to work, I just lived down the street, man. Probably less than, what do you think, like a couple miles? Remember, at my apartment. So probably like literally maybe 2-3 miles away from like the base.
Yeah.
And dude, that took if I left like 5 minutes like later than usual.
2 exits down, literally 2 exits down.
Yeah, 2 exits down. Yeah, and if I like left 5 minutes late, the timing, like you have to time it perfect.
Exactly.
And other than that, like even going home, man, like sometimes 40 to 50 minutes.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
Like going like 5 miles takes you at least 30 minutes. It's insane. Especially if you take side streets.
Yeah. Because then everyone has the same thing, but freeways, you're like just dead stop.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. So with that being said, so outdoors and all that. So I know we talked a little bit before going live.
Yeah.
You started a outdoors channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a YouTube channel. Yeah, my YouTube channel. So originally it started off with fitness, which is, that kind of faded away for a little bit and has come back the past couple of months now.
Gotcha.
But so it originally started as fitness and went into bass fishing, which I'm really into bass fishing. I've always really liked fishing. And that kind of played in with the firearms and the outdoorsy, like fishing and all that stuff. But I haven't posted on in a while. But it originally was.
What got you into that? Like, what got you into?
Yeah.
Before we get to the fitness part, let's go ahead and dive into the outdoor stuff. So, like, what got you into that?
So honestly, like, it was mostly just my dad. Like, my dad's influence on me.
Gotcha.
Like, a lot of my interests come from my dad. So from camping to fishing to shooting to anything outdoors, really, it mostly stemmed from my dad. So once I got out here to Casa Grande, it's empty out here. There's not a whole lot to do.
And you're able to travel around and do different things.
So that's when I kind of got into fishing, and then I got back into guns. I started off when I first got here. I was really into guns. I faded out a little bit, and I got back into it like a little over a year ago. Where
are some good spots out here that you go fishing? Have you been to Patagonia Lake at all?
No, I haven't. I'm more of like a urban, like secret spot type person. You know, like I like pond hopping. You know, so like finding different spots to fish.
There's one spots. You might like. What is that one called, babe? That's Veterans Park.
Veterans.
Veterans,
might like.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
My brother was fishing. It's up on Chandler High School.
Yeah. I think I've been to that one.
He's live right now, so I'm gonna tell him.
Oh yeah. He'll hit you. That guy, he goes fishing. Loves fishing.
Yeah.
You guys would probably connect. He's awesome. So. Other than that, man, so with hunt, so you hunt and all that stuff too?
I don't hunt yet. No? I'm trying to do a hunt this this coming fall. I got invited to a deer hunt, so that might be
sweet.
Fun. So that might be really fun. But as far as just shooting, I just do it for my own purposes, like for protection, concealed carry, you know, and then, you know, I'm really into law enforcement, so that kind of plays into it too. So, you know, that was the biggest reason I actually originally started shooting, is to prepare myself for a career in law enforcement, to be able to, you know, familiarize myself with firearms ahead of time. And then, you know, that got into concealed carry work, and now it's a little bit of a mix of both.
So you said law enforcement. So what are the steps you're taking right now to go into that direction?
So the biggest thing was, I mean, you can't go in the academy overweight. Like it's a given, you know. Right. So
I have a story for that, man. I want you to finish that out.
Yeah, for sure. So what was it? October? I think it was around.
That's an amazing month. That's when I was born.
Oh, really? Let me tell you about August now. Yeah. So October, I think, is when I started my weight loss journey.
Okay.
And I started at 300 pounds. As a kid,
it's amazing though, like how even like seeing your like just by you saying that, like seeing this guy's progress pictures and everything, like and on YouTube, I'll go ahead and put his stuff in the description box. But just seeing like your photo is just incredible. Yeah. Just going from 330 to 2.
It was like 300 to I'm at 254 right now.
That's incredible, man.
And it, you know, being overweight as a kid throughout, you know, your life, you kind of deal with that, and it becomes normal, you know. And then once I got to that 300 point, I graduated high school at 244 pounds. And I was like, whatever. I didn't really realize how fat I was. But when I got to 300 pounds, that was like that wake up call. Like I remember I stood on the scale and I looked at that number. I was like, oh my God, like I never thought I would get to that point. So from there, the next day it was like, all right, start making small changes. You know, like cut out drinking calories, and then eating less, and then going to the gym, and then that, you know, became kind of normal and second nature. And then I just staying consistent really has just brought me to where I am now. I'm not a spokesperson for weight loss or anything, but
but you know like you've had.
But like I've been through it, you know. I've been through it. I'm at 46 pounds lost now.
Good for you, man.
So, you know, I still have about maybe another 50 to go until I get to my goal weight.
Slowly but surely, man. Yeah, you're gonna make it there. For sure.
And I know a lot of people who talk about I just want to lose weight super quick, but you know,
there's a thing about that, and really, man, like I love your story, because I was the same way. Like I grew up my whole entire life, man, overweight, and it's just like it really was no fun, you know. Like there was at a certain point in my life, my brother lost a lot of weight, you know, but I grew up, you know, because I'm still short, I'm 5'4", so short and more stocky. And I was husky my whole life, man. And it wasn't until joining the military, where it's the same concept. I was overweight, I couldn't join. You know, I was 196, just big guy. Yeah. And I was like, man, after seeing my brother, and I've talked about this on other podcasts, so I don't want to overdo it, but the thing about that was I saw my brother graduate from basic training in the Air Force, and I was like, you know what? I just seeing the discipline and the change it made in him. I wanted the same thing for myself. Right. So I remember the drive. We're coming back from San Antonio I'm born and raised in Tucson. So we're driving back to Tucson. I remember telling, it was either my mom or my dad, I'm going to join the military. Yeah. And not that they were like kind of like bringing me down, because they didn't do that at all. But it was more like, are you sure? Like, is that really what you want to do?
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, yeah, like I was so motivated, so like just seeing my brother as like a huge role model in my life, seeing him like get to a certain point and knowing that I wanted the same thing for myself. Right. So like I said, I told them, I came back home and I was like, man, like what, like step one, what do I have to do?
Right.
And this kind of leads into the whole segment of us talking about, you know, weight loss or fitness journeys. Like you all start somewhere, you know, and you like, that's the thing. Like when you said, like most people are like, how do I get it off quick?
Yeah.
There's really no quick. There's no.
You didn't gain it quick. You're not gonna lose it quick.
Yeah. So it's like there were so many things. Like I was like, okay, how do I lose weight fast? You know, same thing. What most people do is Google it. Yeah, I'm gonna Google how to lose weight. How to lose weight fast, but it's like, again, it's all these like fad diets. Oh, stop drinking water. Stop. Like there's like all the, and it's just like
this flush or something like that.
So it's like, man, like you can't find anything that's like really like real out there besides like hard work and consistency. Just like you said, like you're not going to get anywhere in life if you're not consistent. Exactly. So really what happened with me, to kind of break it all down, was I went to the recruiter's office and, you know, right away he's just like, yeah, there's no way. Yeah. Because, you know, I was overweight. Yeah. And I was like, damn, it like really discouraged me. But in my mind, I'm like, if you want something, and I guess that's where my whole mindset started. It's like, if you want something, you have to work your ass off to go and get there. Exactly. So that's what I did, man. And like, sure enough, things happened, whatever. I joined the Marines instead, and so be it. But like, like you said, man, like we all start somewhere. Right. You know, and if you want to get to a certain point in your life, in your business, wherever you want to get to, you just have to work. Right. So I love your story, man, because it's like I feel like I can relate. Yeah. So exactly. So what's fitness like for you right now? What led you to the enjoyment of it, and what goals are you trying to reach now besides losing more weight?
Yeah, of course. So originally it kind of started out like I was really interested in joining the military. Gotcha. You know, I had to lose weight for that. So I was 300 pounds. I cut out a couple different things, and I started on a very specific diet of 2,100 calories. That was like my baseline. I didn't eat any more than that, and I worked out. It was very simple, but I always tell people, like, losing weight is so, like, it's so simple, right? Yeah. But it's so difficult to execute, right? Yes. Like, not many people can really, realistically, every day for months on end eat 2,100 calories or less and work out every day. You know, it's very difficult to do that.
Especially if you're used to a certain way of...
You and I both, you know, overweight our whole lives. Yeah. Changing something that, you know, has been a norm for our whole lifetime. Yeah. Something that we've grown accustomed to for many, many years, our whole lives rather. Breaking those kind of habits is so difficult. Right. You know, it's really, really difficult to do. So I'd been in and out of fitness since high school. You know, like when I was in high school, I lifted weights and stuff. I thought I was, you know, big and bad because I could do 315 on the deadlift. You know, I thought I was hot. And then, you know, I kind of phased out of that. I kind of got, you know, I gained a lot of weight when I moved here, just eating ridiculous amounts of food. Just like, I remember one time, like, I was like really bored. I went down to like, was it Jack in the Box? I got like 5 tacos, like 2 burgers. I just like stuffed my face with food one night. And that was the night before the 300 pounds. Man. And I weighed myself in the morning. I was like, whoa, like, what did I just do? You know, like I hit 300 pounds that day.
Let me just say real quick, man. I am so thankful that you said that. That's just like you accept it. You really like are accepting it, and you're not holding anything back.
No, it's full disclosure, dude. Like you're not gonna fool anybody. You're not gonna fool anybody. Real. You know, like I remember I got on that scale, and it was like. It was almost like emotional, like not to the point where I cried because I'm a man, I'll cry, but you know, but I was like
something else.
Whoa, man. Like that was like the point where it was like, all right, you know what, something needs to change, you know, because 300 pounds, that's a big number, you know. So yeah, like I said, I just got down, you know, a couple different things I changed in my everyday life, and then I started working out, and then I grew a love for that. I loved. You know, lifting weights. I love, you know, getting new PRs and lifting a lot of weight, you know, and it just kind of became normal, you know, when it becomes second nature. And then just staying consistent, and then eventually, you know, I'm here.
So
and it's still going, you know, it's still eventually going. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a spokesperson for weight loss, but I've been there.
I think that in it, you know. Even by you even just telling us, I think there's more, let's just say, there's more learning from you than there's a person that's already at the top. Right. Because when you're at the top, like this is one thing I heard I don't know, a couple days ago or something. But it was like when you're at the top, you're not as hungry as the person trying to come up from the bottom. Exactly. So I feel like, you know, those guys like the fitness influencers, and I would technically consider myself that at one point in my life where I was doing nothing but, you know, bodybuilding, powerlifting, all this stuff. And I was going to bring in my trophies to display them, but I was like, you know what, that really plays no part. You know, I wanted to show you, but after I can show you. But anyways, like, it's not about the trophy, man. It's about that mindset that you develop, you know, from the whole journey that you are taking on. So, like, that's the thing, man. Like, most people who are at the top or who have chased that ideal body, you know, they're not, like, I get it, like, they can keep growing and getting better and taking better pictures. But what about the guys who, like, are like us, who want to get to that spot, but are just, are just past all this information. Hey, you know, just read this ebook, you know, buy this supplement. So I feel like there's just this, like, gray area in the fitness industry where people who do want to get into, you know, losing weight, or they do want to get into the fitness community, because it is growing. It's a growing community.
It's huge. It's one of the biggest niches right now.
Yeah, like, it's huge, fitness. Man. And, like, that's the thing, like, where I kind of love it and I hate it, because my love for the bodybuilding sport came about probably now like 4 or 5 years ago, where, you know, I honestly, like, how it started for me is, like, I just had nothing to do in the military. Like, I was in school and, like, I just had nothing to do, and I was like, okay, well, instead of playing video games, let me just start working. Yeah, so I just started working out, and I just started seeing results. And I remember my first time, I don't think I've ever said this on a podcast, I remember my first time buying pre-workout. Like, I was so nervous, man. Like, I was in the store, and I was like, I was like literally shaking. I was like, man, like, I was looking at all these supplements, and that's another thing. Like, there's
daunting.
So much.
That's so daunting.
Yeah,
it's
and
like, what do I do?
I remember calling my buddy Pablo Rojas, and if you're watching, man, thank you for the advice. But, like, I called him. I was like, hey, man, like, I remember you were taking, like, C4 back in the day. You know what I mean? Like,
we all started
that's
with
all,
C4.
like, everyone knows C4.
Everybody knows C4, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, I call him, like, hey, man, like, I remember you taking C4 in, like, high school for pre-workout. Like, do you think that's okay for me to take, you know? Because I'm, like, nervous and scared of, like, what it's going to do to me. So, and he's like, yeah, man, you'll be good. So I bought that. I remember buying that Concrete. I don't know if it's Concrete. It's like a creatine monohydrate.
Yeah.
So I bought that, and I remember taking it for the first time. Like, I was like, I took a little bit, you know, like maybe like a fourth of a scoop, because I was just so scared of what it was going to do. And then I think from that point on, I just remember constantly working out, man, every single day. And again, like, to develop a habit, you know, it really takes up to 30 days to really just get a habit going.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree with that. Yeah. You know, I have a lot of people, like, say, not to toot my own horn or anything, but people say, like, oh, you know, you motivated me to go work out. I'm like, cool, dude. Like, you know, everybody needs motivation, but to stay consistent, you really need discipline. Yeah. You know, motivation is just the beginning. That's the spark to the fire. What keeps the fire going is consistency and discipline. Because if you don't have consistency or discipline, you're not going to continue working out. You know, that's why I hate the word diet. I hate that word, because it's not a diet. It's like a life change. You know, like absolutely. A diet is temporary. Yeah. You know, diet's very temporary. But for somebody who's looking to change your life forever, you need a lifestyle change. Yeah. You know, so for me, it's like I could diet for a little bit, but then I get fat again. You know, or I could just change my life for the rest of my life. You know. Yeah. And then I'll be good for the rest of my life.
The things that you do on an everyday basis.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. Like, again, not to bring it back to me, but, like, when I competed in my last bodybuilding show, man, I was doing cardio, well, working out in particular 3 to 4 times a day, 6 out of 7 days a week, eating a very, very extremely limited diet.
Just trying to get shredded.
Like, dude, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures, man.
Yeah, I saw your
pictures. I was peeled. Like,
you were
8-pack, like, I'm telling you, peeled. Yeah. So, that was my goal for this next show, because I'm thinking about doing another show. That's good, like, man. Try and get, like, a solid, like, shredded 8-pack, 10-pack, like, whatever. Because, like, I can kind of see some things at the bottom. But anyways, like, I got so damn shredded, but I still looked in the mirror, and I was like, you're fat. You're disgusting. Like, I know. And I am shredded to the bone. I remember one day, like, I got up and I was going to do cardio, and I just looked at myself in the mirror. I was shredded as can be. And I was like, dude, you just look disgusting. Yeah. And I just put my hoodie back on, went to the gym. And it's just like, you just never will win. Yeah. And like you say, you have to change your lifestyle, or else, you know, like the whole diet scene really will consume you. Yeah. You know, and you just have to make a lifestyle change. And that's the thing what I did, man. Like, I started to realize it wasn't about diet. It was about, like, just really changing the way you live. And even right now, it's the same concept of where, like, you know, you just have to make the right choices.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm sure you feel the same way where you kind of feel discouraged almost when you go to, like, these fitness influencer channels or even pages. And it's just like, take this vitamin or take this supplement. It's just like, no, man. It's like you said.
Yeah.
Discipline, the right mindset, hard work, and consistency.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can get anything done like that.
I mean, anybody can just say it, but you really have to be able to put all that into your everyday lifestyle and like continue on for a long period of time.
So what are some things that you can tell the audience about? I know you tapped into it a little bit, but what are like some key things besides consistency, mindset, that they can use to get started? Or how did you, after seeing that scale, what were some like initial things that you just started cutting out, or where did you start?
Originally, where it started was, I remember, it's funny, I remember I saw 300 pounds and I still went out and got Chick-fil-A. Because, like, I was like, all right,
hey, man,
tomorrow.
It's okay. Yeah,
I was like, tomorrow.
Oh,
I was like, tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it was tomorrow. You know, it was, thankfully,
right,
this time it was tomorrow. So, I remember I ate Chick-fil-A that day. I had a bad diet, whatever. And then the next day, I woke up in the morning. I was like, all right, no more fast food and no more drinking my calories.
How often did you have fast food?
Every day.
Okay.
Every single day. I gained about 60 pounds in about, I'd say maybe a little less than a year. So I binge ate like bad. Like I gained all that weight super fast.
Did you work out or anything?
No. No. I mean, I did like from the beginning when I first got here, but after that it was just
gotcha.
And so it was mostly just right after that I was like, all right, no more fast food. Don't eat out. And I was like, all right, I'll make my own food. And then the next week I was like, all right, well, now I can start implementing like how many calories I eat, you know, because I've already gone a week with not eating, you know, junk food and
this is a start. Like, it's the habits.
It's building, you know, good habits. So after that, I started eating 2,100 calories per day. I still ate, you know, kind of whatever, but I didn't go over 2,100 calories. So then I got really into meal prepping. So I got into steak and sweet potatoes. Those are I ate that for a good like 3 months. Just like straight up, like for a good 3 months, like at least twice a day.
Was it because you liked it, or you just?
I liked it.
Okay,
No,
gotcha.
You know, I experimented with chicken and rice and beef and rice.
Right, that's the typical.
That gets so
rice,
boring,
chicken,
man.
broccoli, man.
Rice, broccoli,
That gets so that gets so boring.
Dude,
after
little
a while.
do people know, like that's just not how it really is.
Yeah,
you know,
and that there's a big like stigma that, you know, you have to eat kale, you have to eat all this, you know, crazy stuff. You have to eat
It's important to eat greens, but it's not like you said, it's not like
super ridiculously necessary to lose weight. People say, "Oh, you have to eat salads." Oh, you don't. You can eat, you know, chicken and rice.
And you can honestly still even like eat hamburgers and like,
as long as
it's portion control.
Yeah, really. I love that new thing on the internet, IIFYM. If it fits your macros.
Yeah.
See, I like that.
It really does work. So like that's the thing, man. Like again, like my bodybuilding days, like when I compete, like I noticed that, like, you know, the whole macro thing was, I guess I couldn't really tell you like what my macros were at that point, but I know I ate a lot of tilapia.
That's what I'm on right now.
Complex carbs, man. So sweet potatoes, brown rice. I did have a lot of greens.
Yeah.
You know, the lean ground beef, and I would strain it, like I would cook it and then just add water, strain it out, and recook it.
Right.
There's a lot of things, but I was always hungry all the time, every single day, no matter what time of the day. Like, because of the fact my metabolism was just like crazy high. And that's the thing, like something like that, I could not even imagine doing everything that I'm doing, building companies, like all this stuff. Like I could not even imagine trying to keep eating like that.
Yeah.
Like it just would not even be possible.
Yeah, it's so hard unless you're, you know, prepping for a bodybuilding competition like you did. It would just be like unfeasible for me. Like I still eat normal foods. Like the other day I had Chick-fil-A. But, you know, it's just like, for me, it's more about calories in versus calories out.
Right.
So 2,100 calories, nothing more than that. So
And that's good. So that's what you're still on right now.
Yeah, so I'm still on that. Well, Angelo, shout out to Angelo. I'm on like 200 macro or 200 protein, 200 carb, and then like 50 fat. I think is what I'm on right now. Okay, cool. So I've kind of transferred into more of the macro thing versus just calories.
Because it's an easier way to actually track what you're doing, and it really does make sense. I know when you speak of Angelo, definitely shout out to Angelo. What's Cesar
Santos?
Santos, he just competed.
Yeah, Caesar's probably on this. What's up, man?
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have him on the pod.
Next week,
pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's the thing, man. Like where it's again, like I wish I would have taken the whole like macro approach in the beginning because I was just following a diet that my coach had set for me, and I really didn't learn much from it.
Yeah, you just ate what they told you.
Yeah, so it's like okay, like at the end of the day, it's just like I was feeding my body this for 18 weeks.
Right.
And again, like as weeks progressed, it was change of the manipulating my diet, manipulating my cardio. But man, those were some dark days. Like trying to lose all that weight. So I guess we'll move on a little bit. So is there anyone in particular that you look up to or who motivates you like on the daily?
Yeah, so I'm really into podcasts, but more specifically, there is one, Milmac AZ on Instagram. I don't know if I'll tag you in it, but Milmac AZ, he's a police officer for Phoenix PD. He's a SWAT officer, and he has this incredible podcast that I listen to every day when I do cardio. I'll just sit there and rewatch it. But I love what he talks about. It's a lot about bettering yourself. And, I love this one. He always says this. It's be the man that people think you are. And that one really hit me. I always listen to that one. And it makes you a better person. For me, it just makes me think more of like on a deep level of who I actually am and how I portray myself to other people.
Yeah. That's a deep statement, man.
Yeah, like him. And then another one of my mentors in life is... I was an explorer for a sheriff's department in California before I moved here into high school. And I had this one deputy named Deputy Boogerine. Shout out to him, too.
Man, that's a solid name.
Boogerine? We call him Boog. It's Boog,
Boog, yeah.
What's up, Boog?
Boogie.
Yeah, so Boog, he man, there's so many times I hit him up when I needed help, and he's just like, just one of those people that you really look up to in life. Like he's done a lot of really cool things. He always knows what to say. I really appreciate what he has to say. He has
experience, right?
Lots of life experience.
Awesome.
And I really appreciate that. Sometimes you just need, a second person's input on things, and sometimes I like going to him for his input.
I think that's very important that you touch upon that because sometimes I'm the same way where it's like, well, I guess not the same way. I'm the complete opposite at times where I'm like, no, like I know it all, like, like I'm good, like I don't need advice.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, at the end of the day, like how am I going to grow? How am I going to get better and expand? Like even just by you helping with the camera setup, like things like that, it's like I always want to keep learning.
Right.
And I've noticed that like with every podcast that we've been doing is like I'm always learning something.
Yeah, exactly.
And like we're doing our best to stay, upgrading and stuff, but it's also like, if you don't again, you can listen to some people. Some people have good advice. Some people will help you progress in life, but some people will also hold you back.
Yeah,
exactly. So like you said, finding the right person to be your mentor is important.
I love the term amateurs teach amateurs to be amateurs. I love that term because you can learn from a lot of people who don't really know what they're talking about, or you can learn from somebody who really has the experience and what you need, and you can grow off of that. For instance, golf. Like my dad is a PGA golf professional. He taught me how to golf.
Really?
Yeah.
PGA. There we go.
Yeah.
So love it.
So he taught me how to golf, and there's a bunch of different ways to swing a golf club. A lot of people have different mentalities on that. But there's always like very key points on that you need to have in order to have a good swing, right? So he was the one who taught me that term, amateurs teach amateurs to be amateurs. If you learn bad habits, why would you want to practice bad habits?
Yeah.
So
that's absolutely true because at the end of the day, I mean, you are your own worst enemy. Like if you listen to yourself, like I think you will go crazy at a certain point because it's like you can only take in so much and retain so much information until like you actually have to reach out to other people. Right. And that's why I think this whole podcast thing is really starting to attach on to me more so than a lot of things that I'm doing. Yeah. It's because I'm learning from individuals. It's not about money. I'm not even getting paid for any of this stuff. But if you do want to pay me, hey, feel free.
Patreon.
Patreon. I'll put something down below. But Patreon, we got to talk about that after. I actually want to talk about that. But anyways, again, like I love this because I love the communication with people, and I feel like it's lost nowadays because most people are just again, I mean, I'm on my phone basically 24/7 doing a lot of business work.
Right.
But it's like, I feel like the communication is lost. You know, we rely on our cell phones, we rely on social media to keep us attached, but it's not even about that. It's about the thing that I feel like we're going so far away from is like having that relationship with someone rather than just relying on technology. So to me, man, that's where I love this, and I love, you know, this whole podcast and everything that we're trying to go with it, but we're gonna get there,
dude. I love what you do, and I appreciate your grind too. You know,
I appreciate that, man.
You know, I know how I went through a little phase, or you know, I was like, all right, I'm doing YouTube full time now. You know, I did that too. I did a little bit of grind for a short period of time. I realized how hard it is. Dude, it's very hard.
I've been doing this now for, would you say, probably 4.
You were doing it before.
Oh yeah, so I'm doing it now. This is probably maybe my 4th or 5th year doing this. Man. Like, just not all. Well, I can't say all the time, but I mean, before it was like, okay, I'm gonna drop a video like every maybe 2 times a month. But now it's like, no, man, like mine's every single week. Yeah. So you imagine, like, well, you know how it is, like editing and making sure you get the correct photos, you're getting the right lighting, like the right equipment, like, so it's. I mean, that's the thing I've learned is like, and I was on the phone with my good friend Brandon today, and I told him that. I said, man, like, every day is a mystery. Mm-hmm. And every day is like, I don't know if I'm going to get paid. I don't know if I'm going to even gain more, you know, more audience. Yeah. I don't know if Instagram's going to go down like it did the other day, which I was pissed. Yeah. But anyway, I had to have a real life.
Call it 911.
Gosh.
Instagram.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's like at a time where I was just thinking like, you know, this wouldn't be possible. And I created this whole new Henry, you know, where I have to be a certain character. And I didn't like the character I was becoming at a certain point. So I think that's really where I stopped YouTube. Right. And I really just, you know, looked back on it and I was like, you know, I just want to be authentic. Right. Yeah. I want to be real. I want people to, when they go to my content, to just know that like I'm just trying to be genuine and really giving them solid advice. So even the podcast is like, it's all about self-development, all about mindset. It's all about creating a better future than, you know, you were maybe even given. Like, so like, just like you, like you're grinding away, you're working every single day. You know, it doesn't mean like you came from a bad past or anything like that, but like you're working with what you have and you're trying to better your life. Exactly. So I feel like that's where all this comes from, man. Like when I'm flipping things, like I'm sure you see.
Yeah, dude, that's insane how you do that. And that's so cool.
Yeah, so like
I'm just like looking at your story. I'm like, wow. Like how? How do you do that?
You know, cool. The way I do it, like I said, man, it's like waking up.
You have the eye for it. I go to Goodwill and I just look around. I'm like, man, this is a bunch of junk, you know. Yeah. But like you see things that I don't see.
You know, like. Right, and I can't really take all the credit. I learned from, I don't know if you know who Gary Vee is. I'm sure you do. Yeah, I learned. Crushing it. Yeah, I learned from him, like some of the things where I just kind of started implementing. And I was like, you know what? One day I went out and I was like, let's just try it. Yeah. Sure enough, man. Like. Yeah. Sure enough, that works. You know. So, anyways, then I started getting into Supreme. So I do a lot of Supreme work right now. Yeah. And then getting into the whole. You know, Yeezy game and the whole sneaker game and all that, because I feel like that's
a good market. That's a really good market.
I don't know, man. Like just my beliefs with like hip hop and culture, like that's where the money's gonna be. Oh yeah, so absolutely. That's where like I'm just trying to create a, I guess a platform for people to not only better their mind but better their financial you know, area in life, and to also just gain some knowledge about fitness, because I did have a conversation with the last gentleman we had on the podcast, and you know, he really opened my eyes to understand, like he asked me like, what is your whole premise on social media, like what are you doing? You know, like let's just break it down, like what are you doing? And to me it's like the whole flipping and all that stuff, like it's just to create an additional source of income to fund this. Right. To fund of course. What we're doing.
What the big picture.
Yeah. So exactly. It's not more or less like my channel isn't just to, well, I guess it is. I was going to say it's not to give people like money advice or anything like how to make a source of income. But I guess it is, because we talk about self-development. Right. But it, again, my story originated with fitness, you know? Mm-hmm. So it just kind of grew to mindset, you know, and trying to create something from nothing. If I can say anything, it's just creating something from nothing.
I love that term.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
And that's where this whole grind goes, man. Like I still like we're just getting better and better each podcast. I feel like, and I feel also as though every year it seems like YouTube. I have to keep stepping my game up.
Yeah,
you know, like
that quality always gets better. That's one thing I notice on YouTube is that
Yeah.
everybody else's quality is always good, but you want to be above them. So you always do whatever you can to make sure your quality is better. And that plays some part in Instagram too.
Yeah.
You know, especially in my niche.
Instagram's hard, man.
And you know what?
You know what?
It isn't. You know, I found more luck on Instagram than I did on YouTube.
I would.
But I think it's about what finding your niche is, right? Your niche, you know, you have podcasts and stuff, and you do your vlogs, and then flipping. I love those videos, by the way. Those are really, really cool.
I love that.
That's
I'm
super
glad to
cool.
hear that. Cool.
That's really cool how you can just like go in there and just pick out things that you could. I don't know.
Oh, so you like that?
Like I don't know how you do that. That's cool.
Okay,
but
cool.
As far as like my niche, you know, the thing that helped me a lot was dry firing. So I found something that was really popular.
Talk a little bit about that. Like what is that? Because I don't even.
Yeah. So essentially, what it is what most of my videos are is like dry firing.
Okay.
So it's basically just practicing, you know. Mm-hmm. So practicing, you know, draws, you know, getting your grip and reloads and stuff like that. Just to kind of like, I guess, muscle memory, like building muscle memory. Like the other day, the last thing I posted on my Instagram was, it's called a failure to fire. So you go bang, 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 click where the gun doesn't go. It's a bad round. So the primer didn't go bang. Is essentially what happened. So without even me thinking about it, like I just tapped it, so made sure the mag's in, racked it, and I went to go fire again. But that's just like, I just built muscle memory. Like I didn't have to sit there and like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this. Like that's what dry firing is for, is building muscle memory and continuing to get faster, right? You know, fast is one thing, but smooth is another. There's a whole different, you know, topic on that. But
and I think you're even relaying some of that stuff to like fitness too. Like I feel like the muscle memory or just, you know, working on something every day, I think that also helps with dry firing.
Yeah, like form, for instance, right? There's a lot of form that has to go into a draw, and you know, whether it's guns or whatever it is, there's a form to it, just like deadlifting. I remember when, you know, everybody, like when you start deadlifting, you do like the whole arch back and everything.
Oh,
it's bad. You know
man, some people still be doing that.
You know how that works, and you build that form, but it's by practice, right? So you learn what you're doing wrong, you take videos of yourself, and that's part of what it is too, is recording myself, is seeing what kind of things I can change. So whether it be like, it's called defeating garment, like how far I can pull my shirt up to access my gun, or, you know, there's different kind of things that mostly is just recording myself. And I had been dry firing for a long period of time, but then I saw someone by the name of Sam Pitchfork. If you're watching, dude, what's up? So Sam Pitchfork, I saw him. I loved his Instagram videos, and I love what he was doing. Just basically
dry firing.
A kid just like me, a very normal looking kid who practices concealed carry. He made great videos, and I was like, man, I'm already doing this, but all I gotta do is record it. So I put the videos up, like I just did some concealed carry work, just like dry firing, and it just took off. It did really good. And all it is just something I was already doing.
Did you? So at that point where I know probably some people, but we'll also kind of talk about like growing social media. Yeah. So at what point, like if people are watching this and they want to grow their social media, and I have seen your videos and I have seen like what you're posting, it is a niche. Like you're really there.
It's like a niche inside of a niche. Like,
yes,
there's
like
the gun community.
It's there.
There's like the gun community, and then it branches off. There's like the tactical guys, and then there's the concealed carry guys.
Yeah, so but you're like it's very, very fine point what you do. So when I guess with that being said, like hashtags and stuff, does that play a big role for you, or just the people you've already gained over time?
So what it was it's funny, anything that's not dry fire videos doesn't do very good. It's really weird. Gotcha. But I think what the biggest thing is, because my videos go on the explore thing sometimes.
That's key, bro. That's key.
Yeah, that's like super key. So I remember the first time I posted it, I posted just a regular dry fire video, and it got reposted by another person. They got like 8,000 views, and I got like 3,000. I was like, nice. I was like 3,000, and then I remember I posted this one that I originally posted on my story, and then I posted it on my actual feed one night, and like I was just blown up. I remember I got 5,000, and then 10,000, and then 15,000. I think it's like 40,000 right now.
Wow.
So I have like 3 videos that are like 40,000 views. And all my other dry fire
viral, man.
Yeah, well, another big thing about that is hate that comes with that. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
you know how that goes. But like,
hey man, you gotta love them haters. I remember the first time I got first thumbs up on thumbs down. I'm sorry on my video.
I was like, why?
Yeah, I'm like,
who would do such a thing?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I was just like, I love that person because it really does take you to a different mindset. But anyway, so that's how it really happened.
So it was just dry firing. So something that I'd already been practicing for like a good 6 or 7 months was just me recording it and posting it on the internet. You know, I got the idea from Sam, and I appreciate you, Sam, for helping me out because he's like my social media mentor. Like, he helped me through the process because I was really trying to build my Instagram under this niche, and he helped me throughout the way, like, immensely, like insanely how much he helped me out. But all I did was just like record myself, and then all of a sudden, like, the videos just started doing really good. And I think it's part of the hashtags too, but I think for some, I don't know how the social media game works. I don't know why it goes to the Explore or not. But
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, honestly. I just posted the video anyway.
Right. So, like, with that being said, for you, it's just about the passion.
Yeah, exactly. I have a passion for firearms. There's a couple things I have passion for, but one of them has to do with firearms and, you know, concealed carry and guns and gear and all that big blanket of like outdoorsy stuff, you know. But guns specifically, I have a passion for, and like I just started posting on my Instagram because I was like, all right, I'm already doing things. How about I like share it to the world and see what other people think? And then for a while it was kind of slow, you know. That's why I asked Sam for help. And then he told me, like, yeah, dude, just try doing some concealed carry stuff. Because I was doing all this, like, duty belt, everything, and holsters. And that wasn't doing very good. And I started doing concealed carry work, and all of a sudden it just blew up. I was like, cool.
So, again, it's like that niche within a niche that you really just got attached to, and you ran with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, I'm not trying to bring this back to me, but it's like I learned that with even, like, my channel, my page, I did notice growth when I really just stuck to one thing. Right. But for me, people ask, like, what do you do? Like, what's the types of things you do? Right. And for me, it's like, I do a lot of things, you know? Yeah. So, like, I can't really say to, like, pinpoint something. Before it was fitness, I guess it moved on to mindset because I got really heavy into podcasting and listening to other people. And what I learned from that was just like Gary Vee almost, where I have to be doing a million different things. Yeah. You know, so... that's where podcasting came from. That's where my clothing company came from. That's where, like, even like my personal page is, you know, growing in certain ways. This whole flip thing right now, the whole Supreme. So, like, I have to have my hands dipped into so many different things. Exactly. And I guess that's what my niche is. My niche is many different things. But again, I'm really trying to fine tune things because I know that people want to come to my page for a certain thing.
Yeah, you know? That's one thing when I was really into YouTube. Trying to build a YouTube is like finding your specific niche, because like viewers are really weird. Like if you post anything that doesn't have to do with what they originally followed you for, they don't want to watch it. Right. So it's like, I remember I started doing fitness stuff. I gained a little bit of following from that, and I went to fishing, and I lost all my subscribers. I was like, all right, whatever. So I started over.
I gotta keep that. Yeah, I gotta keep that in mind.
So, you know, when I started doing gun videos or, you know, firearm stuff on Instagram, I lost some of my personal followers, which is a given because most, you know, I don't.
Yeah, because some people don't want to.
You know what? I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. I understand. Like, I have no hate for you. You know, if you don't like guns and you don't want to, that's cool. I don't have any hate towards you. So I started posting gun videos, and I tried to find what was like doing really well, and then Sam helped me out, and I realized, like, all right, concealed carry is like what's really popular right now. So that's kind of what
You just took it and ran with it.
I just took it and ran with it. And it's not like it was something that was like I never do. Like, I did it like every day. Like, it was just a normal thing. I just recorded it, you know, and then I just posted to the internet. So
wow. So if people are out there right now and they're a little nervous to get started or to start posting, because I mean, let's be honest, everyone probably watching, obviously they're on some sort of platform because they're watching this, but it's also like, how, in your opinion, then, when you're saying like you just started, you know, recording and you started posting, if someone is like a little bit nervous to post what they love doing, what is some advice you can give to them? Whether it's just, you know, build up that confidence to go ahead and do it, or something that you have in mind.
Dude, honestly, it's really just growing some to do it. Like, honestly, you really just got to do it. Like, if you have a passion for it and you want to portray that to the world. You want to show somebody like your art, like what you do on an everyday basis, and you want to show everyone, go for it. Just do it. Like for me, it was like, all right, I was really into guns, like really, really into guns. And I was like, well, there's like a huge social media presence for that. I was like, all right.
There really is.
Yeah. And there's a huge social media presence for that. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll start posting gun videos or something like that. And then, back to what you were saying, it's honestly just doing it. Like there's going to be haters. Like there's going to be a ridiculous amount of haters, especially people who are not in the niche, right?
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely, man.
There's going to be people who have nothing to do with guns, who want nothing to do with guns, but they'll just sit there and type away.
Oh yeah, dude, we call those keyboard warriors.
Yeah, and that happens. That comes, and something to keep in mind is, and something that was really hard for me to understand at one point when I first started getting that one first video that went really well. I realized there was a lot of hate, And
why do you think there's like someone would come to a page and like leave a
one comment? Is because people think I'm fat, which is that's a given, whatever. It is what it
haters
is.
Will be haters,
that
man.
it was bad. And
that's great. Hang on. Fuck you guys for that.
Yeah.
Because that's not cool.
No, it was
I'm gonna probably get off of
demonetized.
Yeah, demonetized. So, we're done. But anyways, it's not right, is what I'm trying to get to.
No, it's definitely not right. And at first, it was like, it really hurt me because I was trying to be like, yo, guys, like, I'm losing weight, but why are you still calling me fat? Like, it actually.
Did that? Okay, so I know you're going on that, but I want to jump in. I want to jump. Yeah, I'm going to take a dump real quick.
No, we're not going to go
that way. No, I want to jump into something different where.
Yeah.
So how psychologically, how did that, like, affect you? Did that affect performance in any way where it's like, okay, let me just stop posting because of that?
Yeah, so my girlfriend and I talk about this all the time is, like trying to get myself in a mindset. Like I always tell people, like, people hit me up like, oh, there's a lot of like hate on your videos. And I just tell people like, it's always for one shitbag comment, there's always 10 really supportive comments. And that's like the mindset I have to keep reminding myself of is that one stupid comment isn't going to ruin my day. Like there's so many other people that support my page and say really nice things and DM me, just talk to me and stuff. But like one bad comment can't ruin my day anymore. Like at the beginning of all this, it was really taking a toll on my brain. It was like
because no one wants to be put down. Like it's annoying, but no one. At the end of the day, man, we're humans. Like we want to. I don't want to say it like this, but like we want to be right. We want to think everyone's going to do the right thing. So it's like at the end of the day, like.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get hate. Yeah, like I had zero.
And you're not like directly doing something bad to someone.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the biggest comment, man. Like I posted that last picture I posted on, or the last picture I posted on my Instagram of like my weight loss transformation.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
I said like I put in quotations, sell your gun and buy a treadmill. That was the number one. That and like, oh, you got to get some reps in at the gym. Like those are the two. I was just like, you got to be really stupid to say something like that. Like you got to be like a special kind of stupid.
I get it now. So you're
like I have like two.
I thought you were saying that as like no, for like you to tell someone to do that.
That's exactly what people tell me. Like I've had tons of. I delete all the comments, but like it's like I have two very like obvious pictures on my Instagram of my weight loss journey. I'm proud of that. I post that because I'm proud of it. I don't expect to get a whole lot of likes for it. I know they're not.
You're authentic, man. I see.
Yeah, but I post that because I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
And man, I was just like, how can you got to be a special kind of stupid to still talk shit on people who are like actively changing their life.
You have to, I think, like you said, you actively have to be stupid. But I think, like you said, it takes a whole nother stupid to just go and like if they're like following you, right?
Yeah.
And they're leaving a hateful message, it's like, well, you see where my page is going, moron. And like, if you're seeing that and you don't like it, just give me the courtesy, unfollow me. Like I won't have any hate, for those type of people. But again, it's like, don't come to a page and just leave something hateful or hurtful, especially if someone's trying to actively change their life.
Exactly.
So to me, it's like, I don't get that, man. Like there's haters everywhere. They're still going to be hating. And I think that it gets into something a little bit deeper than just their sour ass attitude. It becomes like okay, how were they parented? How was the environment they grew up in? Like,
exactly.
It becomes
and
a whole
never change.
different thing.
It's never gonna change, and that's the problem with it. Like you're not, like it plays into in so many different parts of life that you're not gonna please everybody. You know, like I work in the customer service, hospitality, like business. I know how that works. You're not gonna please everybody. Someone's gonna be upset, someone's not gonna like what you're doing, and that just happens.
Right.
But it's
and you could be posting the nicest thing ever.
Yeah,
you could
like
be posting
religion, anything,
and
like,
someone's gonna go at it.
Someone's just gonna like type away behind their private account, you know. Yeah. But the biggest thing for
I hate those private accounts, dude.
Coming back to what you were saying, like how can someone like get over that fear of that is like reminding yourself that if you're doing what is genuinely in your brain, like what you love to do, what you have a passion for, then nothing should stop you. Like if you have haters in mind, then like screw it, who cares? Because you're posting what you think is right, what you believe in, what you love doing, you know?
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, exactly. And you honestly can't let haters get in the way of like what you post. Because like if I just did that, like what's the point of that? Like like one hater commented on my picture, I'm gonna delete my Instagram.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like where some people they just shut down. Like when there's like a negative comment.
I did that. No, I'm not even kidding. Like I went through like a whole day not too long ago. I was just like, man, like I'm sick of it. Like,
dude,
you know,
yes.
for you know, you can sit there. Like I literally spent a whole day, like my whole day, like I get a notification, I'm like, oh, what's that? Get a treadmill, fatso. I'm like, like it just gets annoying. I delete the comments so I don't like remind myself of it. Yeah, you know, because
I don't blame you, man.
But like, it gets to the point where like you can only delete so many comments because you still have to read it. You still have to read that comment. You're like, man, like why are there so many people hating on my stuff?
And that's the thing. Like at least you're taking the high road, man. Because there was a point where I would say a few years back, I think even probably when I was still living in California, when I would get those comments, I would just light them up. Or I'll put them on the spot. But then I'm like,
them back,
but that's the thing. Like I'm not being any better than them. So that's one thing I realized. Like again, like I'll get things too. I could post like the most genuine video where I'm really bringing someone like some solid value to their life, and it's just like everyone says that. Oh, you know, say something different. Like it's like, dude. Like, I'm just speaking from the heart, you know? Like, if I'm trying to be like someone else, then I'll tell you. But it's like, I'm really just trying to provide people solid value. Yeah, and I think that, like you said, man, like, these negative comments, like, you just cannot let them affect yourself, you know? So, I think a lot of people out there are going to really appreciate you, you know, opening up about that. Because I think haters, man, is something that is going to keep happening, especially over time and as... you know, media changes and we get to whole different dimensions of technology. We're going to be seeing, I think, even more haters. So
you know, it is what it is. It's not going to go anywhere. There's still bad people in the world. Yeah, that's never going to change. It's just how you overcome that. You know, if you really let it get to you, then that's your own fault because you could just forget about it, delete the comment like I do, and then just try to forget about it. Right. You know,
and that's the thing, man. So let's just go to one of the last things of the podcast. So what are your plans for growth in 2019? I know we already talked about your personal development. Right. Do you have any, I put in here like business or social media intentions. I know you're talking about law enforcement. So this year, I guess, what are your fitness goals?
So basically, my fitness goals are to get as absolutely fit as I possibly can. Because like 2019, like this is my year to get like, whether it be in the academy or get hired wherever or whatever it is, because like this is my year. Like I want it more than anything. Like I've lived my whole life. Like I kept my nose clean for as far as I can remember. My whole life, I've never done anything stupid. Never smoked weed. I don't do drugs. I don't have anything on my record. Gotcha. For that reason, for this year, like literally this year is like what I've been waiting for my whole life. So
good for you, man.
Getting to that point to where I'm physically fit enough to get into police academy and like actually pass that and then graduate, that's going to be the happiest day of my life. Like
I cannot wait for that, man. That's
like, it's going to be the happiest. I'm probably going to cry that day.
We're going to have you on the podcast.
It's going to be like the happiest day of my life because it's something that, you know, I've literally lived my whole life to be able to get to that point, you know. So number one goal for 2019 is to graduate an academy, whatever it be, like whether it be putting myself through one or, you know, getting hired by a department, whatever it is. Like the number one goal of 2019 is to get hired by somewhere, you know.
Awesome, man. we will, no matter where we're at, if we can go to your graduation or whatever, we're gonna be
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
We're gonna be there,
I'm
man.
hoping it's in this area. You know?
That's I hope so. I hope you get everything you want because
Yeah.
of the fact that you do come from a very special place where you have the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these people who do pick you up are gonna really gain something. You know, because you're not just the Joe Schmo on the side of the road who's just applying and he gets hired. You know, you see these a-holes every so often, but it's like. You have a very good story.
Mm-hmm.
You have drive, and honestly, like you can be like someone could be born with everything, you know. But I don't think they're really getting the full force or full dose of life because they're not really experiencing, certain setbacks that people, I guess I don't want to say normal people because everyone's normal, but certain people, we do come from a little bit harder of a past,
right?
Because we've dealt with being overweight, we've dealt with negativity, and we're just trying our hardest to become the best versions of ourselves.
I love that term. I said this in the first the second to last transformation picture I posted. Like 2019 is when I get to start my life again. I said that awesome, because it's like I've lived my whole life being insecure under my own skin. Like anybody who's overweight, you understand what I'm saying. Like you are so insecure in your own skin. Like, oh, how does this shirt fit me? How do these pants fit me? Do I look fat in this? Whatever. Like you live your whole life dealing with that. And the day that you don't have to worry about that anymore, like when you're in the body that you've always wanted, that's when you get to start your life again. For me, like I could have joined the military when I was 18, which is what I wanted to do. Like I kid you not, like I was like full force Air Force. Gotcha. I wanted to go so bad. But I was like I never had that discipline to lose weight and get in there because obviously you have to be a certain weight. You know? I remember I was like 17, like about to graduate high school. I went to a recruiter's office. He's like, all right, buddy, you're all good. The only obstacle you have is you gotta lose weight. I'm like, all right, cool. I remember like the first week I was working out and I can't even tell you what happened after that. I just totally forgot about it. And then I went like my whole life, like from 18, 19, 20, all that time just like, what am I doing with my life? Like I was literally so stagnant, like not doing anything with my life. So like,
gosh,
dude,
man,
it's
such
like
an incredible story.
It's so hard, like living your everyday life being insecure. Like I imagine, you understand what I'm saying. Like it's so hard to like feel insecure like that. And the day that I'm not insecure anymore is the day I get to start my life again. So 2019 is when I get to start my life again.
Good for you, man. Yeah. Oh man. It's just so amazing the way you put it because it's like it's so true and most people too like they do take certain things for granted, you know, and that's the thing. People
hit me up, they're like, hey bro, I'm 220 pounds, like I want to join the military, how do I get I'm like, bro, you don't realize how close you are. Like
you're closer than you think.
I would like, oh man, I remember when someone hit me up, they're like, hey, I'm 200 pounds, I want to join the military, you have any like workout advice? I'm like, dude, you don't realize how close you are. You don't realize how easy that is. Like for me at least, because like I've gone so far and I still have a lot more to go. Like I would give anything to be 200 pounds right now. Like to not have to deal with more months of being the same weight. Like I would love to be that, but it's just not going to happen.
But you know what, man? Like because you said that, I think that like that's the thing. I kind of want to bring this to something else where I feel as though like this hustle that I'm doing right now, every single thing that we're doing, I feel like at one point in my life, I'm going to be like, man, thank gosh it's over. Because that hard grind, but at the end of the day, I still feel like I'm still going to want to be that same character. Like even when you get to, join the academy and when you get there, that's going to be an amazing day. But I do think that you have to find peace with yourself.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, you're going to be on this everlasting, journey trying to become this person, this DJ, and you're never going to feel like you're there. So I love how you say right now and everything that you're saying because I do feel it's important to love the process. And no matter it's going to suck staying at the same weight, for the next couple of months or whatever it is. But like, at least you're still working. You're not getting discouraged. And again, the people that are watching you and that are going to be, following you from my page, it's like they want to see you win. Most people want to see you win other than the hateful comments, but we already had a word for them. But it's like, I don't want to keep getting demonetized. But anyways, so it's like the journey will never stop. And as long as you're on top of it and like, that's why I asked you, like, what are your goals? Because it's important to have an end result or an end goal or an end thing that you want to get to, because that will measure your success, and that will measure where you want to go. So I think it's just incredible, man, that this year is your year, and I'm very, very, very excited for you. Yeah. It's going to be incredible, man.
That's going to be the best day of my life. And this is the year that I get to start my life. And I always love saying that, because it's like I've lived, all these years just like looking for, like trying to accomplish that ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get hired or whatever, because I have a passion. That's my ultimate like lifelong goal, is that. But once I get to that point, that's where like I've made it. Like I've done all this work. I've like stayed, my rap sheet's clean. I kept my nose clean for my whole life for this moment. And I think I'm probably going to get emotional when I do that.
Yeah, it's going to be a very emotional day.
Like especially like I imagine like when you finished the Crucible, like in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I bet that was a very like,
it was an eye-opening experience, because it was like, if you bring that up, man, we'll talk about that a little bit. So, we did, so the Crucible is, I forget how many days, now I don't know how I forget, but I think it's like a 2 or 3 day long period that, we go, this is basically where you get the title United States Marine.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the entire time in boot camp, you're just a recruit, you're not, a Marine at all.
Yep.
And so I remember the very last, I guess the night before the morning, because it was really dark. And I remember it seemed like we were hiking forever, man, like forever. So we did a bunch of events like the days before, and then I remember this captain, he gave us a little bit of motivation, because we were just, again, low on sleep, low on energy, low on food. And it was like you start to really realize the things you can do even when your body's so fatigued.
Yeah.
And with no sleep, no water, like I feel like you just tap into a completely different version of yourself.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like, most of us will complain even when we have it good. When we are fully, nourished, we have water, we have a roof over our head, we have everything in life, a cell phone in our pocket, ways to make money, but yet we're so unfulfilled that what I learned at that very moment was you really just have to live in the moment and understand that things do take time.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I was just like, you know what, like all these weeks, being away from home, being away from family, friends, not, necessarily living in a comfortable life, because every day was like, I remember just falling asleep and you're up. Yeah. There was like, it seemed like one long day. Boot camp was just one long day. And there was a lot of things, that got me through it. But that night of the that morning of, after we finished the Crucible, again, a very difficult part of my life was, going through boot camp, going through the Crucible. But I remember we had our packs on the ground, and it was the final stage in the Crucible where we hiked, it's called Mount Motherfucker. So again, demonetize me if you have to be. But I remember like it was dark at night, and I remember like the safety vehicle like was going up the hill, and I was looking up there, and like all of a sudden you just see the light or the headlights, right? Mm-hmm. You see the headlights going, and then they're gone, and then they're like up here, like they're in like almost in heaven, they're so high up, and it's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna have to climb that. So it's I think they do it like when it's dark, because you're not getting so psyched of the hill, like it's because it's all a psychological game. Yeah. And I remember, man, like I'm not shitting you, I remember like almost being able to touch the ground in front of me. It was that steep.
Yeah.
And everyone, you could just start seeing people, like there's a bunch of us, and you could just start seeing people like, this dude's coming back, like, and he's just like falling back, and it's just like everyone's just helping him up. It sucks for all of us, but it's like, what, we're basically born together now. So we're just helping these people up. Hey, grab our pack, grab our arm or something. So let's help everyone go up. So that was like my first point of like defeating adversity when like with teams and stuff like that. So anyways, we get to the top, and like I remember once we get over, there's just one little hill, and I remember people just started running, because over that hill was success, was earning the title.
Exactly.
So seeing that hill, and again, like the sun's rising, so they do all this stuff for a reason, how the day was. And I remember seeing that last little hill. And I just remember seeing people just running. Like, you had no energy in your body. So it's like, how can someone run?
Yeah.
But you're like, again, you tap into a whole different version of yourself. So we go up, that little hill, and it's just, again, you're just trying to get it done, because over that hill, you are done.
Yeah.
Like, it's all this.
Finally over.
Yeah, it's just done. Like, you don't, like, it's just over, man. Like, you get to see your parents, like, the following week and stuff. So it's like, it was over. And I remember getting over that hill, and it's just like tears just start coming down your face, because it just felt like this load off your back. Even though you got your pack on, you have all this, people are like blisters, all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you get to that point in your life, and this can relate to anyone. Like, you get over that small, even if it's just that little hill or a fitness goal you have for yourself, you get over that hill. It's great. It's an amazing feeling.
Exactly.
And it's just like, okay, once you get over, that's when we got our Eagle Globe and Anchor, our EGA in our hand, and we're pronounced Marines at that point.
Yeah.
But again, like, it didn't stop there for me. It was like always a desire to keep going. But what I realized at that very given moment, I worked my butt off to get to that point. Mm-hmm. And you just have to appreciate that.
Right.
So same thing with you, man. Like, you're once you get to that, I feel like you're seeing the hill. You're seeing that hill right now, because you've already broken this whole obstacle of climbing that mountain.
Yeah.
Exactly. Most people are climbing that mountain. They feel like they're never going to get to the top. But I can guarantee you guys, once you get over that mountain, there might be a little, one or two different things that are going to get in your way. What's going to cause you to be on that plateau.
Absolutely.
And that was that plateau. And then we saw another little hill. And as soon as you hit that little hill, it was it.
Yeah.
So exactly. I feel like that's what most people got to realize is things don't just stop, and you're never going to get anywhere. There's going to be another little hurdle in the road, whether it's 1, 2, 3, shoot, sometimes even years. Yeah. But if you believe, you'll get over that hill and greatness will happen.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. So, yeah, dude. Like, I remember when I first hit that 300 pounds, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a full year doing this. And then, I've gotten past the halfway point. I'm at like the halfway point, a little bit past. And it's like, all right, man, like, I can do this. Like, this is like so much easier than when I first started. Like, I'm at the point where it's like you were talking about that little hill. Yeah. Like, now it's just kind of like,
you're there,
so
man.
Close.
And you can
so
see
close.
the light, man. You can see that light.
Yeah.
And just, you have to stick with it, man. I know you will. And it's just incredible. Your story is just incredible. And I know a lot of people are going to just appreciate what you have to say, man.
Appreciate that, man.
That's incredible.
I'm so glad to be here. This is awesome.
Thank you,
I always love podcasts, but I was like, man, that would be sick to be on this podcast.
Well, dude, yeah, I hope, down the road we'll have you on again, and especially before even you get into the academy, after the academy, we'd love to keep picking your brain.
Absolutely.
So anytime, man, like, doors always open.
Brother, I appreciate that. It's so great. I'm so glad you had me on.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure followers like this too. That'd be super cool.
Yeah. So with that being said, then go ahead and just let the audience know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, dude. So my social media is at DJSailor_. You guys can follow me there. I have like some fitness, mostly firearms training and stuff like that on there. So if you guys want to check it out, I'm sure he's going to put it somewhere.
It'll be in the description
It'll probably be
below.
somewhere. I'm sure he's going to do it.
After this demonetized video.
Yeah, demonetized video.
No, we'll have it in the description box so people can follow you. I do appreciate you being here, man. And I know the entire audience, the entire Playground Podcast Nation, they're going to love it. So
it's awesome, bro.
Thank you again, man, for being on. And I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys, if you're listening on any of the platforms, I want to thank you for tuning in. And the guys on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys being here with us. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Hit that bell for notifications. Just that way you can get notified when we do drop a new video. And again, we had DJ Sailor here. Yes, that is his real name.
That is my real name.
I was a little confused, but
yeah.
Again, guys, I'll have all of his information down below if you want to check him out. So again, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.